Welcome back to Bikes with Ben. I've been on a mission here to find the best bang for your buck Shimano mountain bike drivetrain. Today we're going to be diving into Shimano's 12-speed cassette lineup. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I'll link them both up here and down in the description. In those, I covered Shimano's 12-speed shifters and derailleurs. For those of you who don't know, Shimano's mountain bike drivetrain components come in 4 tiers. Their entry point is Deore, it goes to SLX, XT, and finally XTR. All of these components are cross-compatible with one another. What that allows you to do is take a ultra high-end, super lightweight, and super pricey XTR derailleur, slap it onto a cheap all-steel Deore cassette, and maybe control it all with a middle-of-the-road SLX or XT shifter. What that allows me to do is to provide you with all the information you'll need so that you know you're taking your hard-earned dollar bills and putting them into the components that are going to have the most impact on your ride feel and performance. What that allows all of us to do is mix and match these components across the line to create the ultimate Shimano bang-for-your-buck drivetrain. In my first video, I covered Shimano's derailleurs, and what we found in that category was as price went up, weight went down. All the functionality was there from Deore all the way up to XTR, but you were spending your money to get less weight. In the second video with shifters, we found that the weight was exactly the same at 117 grams across all of the shifters, but you got impactful functionality as you went up the line, with XT being the best bang for your buck as we took a look at it. Cassettes, however, bring us back to what we saw with derailleurs. Consistent functionality across the board with weight dropping as price goes up. This is thanks to the use of aluminum and titanium gears in varying quantities as you go from Deore all the way up to XTR. So, without further ado, let's clear off this wall behind me and we will use the magical powers of video editing to show you both my intro and this next entry into our Bikes with Ben Best Bang for Your Buck Shimano Mountain Bike Drivetrain series. All right, let's get into the comparison. Starting off, we've got Deore coming in at 596 grams. Coming up next is the SLX weighing in at 534 grams. Then we've got the XT at 470 grams. And finally, the XTR beating them all, slim and trim at 367 grams. For us Imperial unit lovers there, those are about 21, 19, 16 and a half, and 13 ounces respectively. It gives us about a 229 gram or half a pound difference between the XTR and the Deore cassettes here. Now, you can see that difference isn't as great between the Deore, SLX, and XT, and we'll get into those reasons in a second. Speaking of pounds in a monetary sense, the difference between Deore and XT is even greater. So let's see what weight each of these is going to have on your wallet. At the time of filming, the Deore was hovering right around $82. The SLX costs you $2 more at $84. The XT takes a bigger jump up to $132. And then finally, the XTR, continuing to astonish, is going to cost you a whopping $390. All of the Amazon links for these are down below in the description. I've also made a nice detailed chart, like I do with every one of these videos, of all of the comparisons of these cassettes, links to Shimano's exploded views, technical documents, handy things about their product releases, all kinds of stuff. As I'm doing my research, I make that list and I share it with you guys. So click that, follow along with this video if you'd like. So besides weight and price, what are the other differences we can find in these cassettes? Well, there's not much. They all feature the Hyperglide Plus technology that I mentioned earlier. These all come in a 10 to 51 tooth setup with the same gear cog combinations across the board. And these all feature an aluminum cog carrier that Shimano calls the Beam Spider. It's fun, I like it. The SLX, XT, and XTR cassettes come with another option for a gearing combination in a 10 to 45 tooth cassette. Shimano calls these their Rhythm series, Rhythm Step. Shimano calls these their Rhythm Step cassettes since there's a smaller gap between the 4 or 5 larger cogs. These aren't good for people like me who need all the help on the hills, but they would be good for a rider who focuses more on rolling terrain and doesn't have the need for that ultra low climbing gear. The Rhythm Step options do come in slightly lighter than their non-Rhythm Step counterparts because they don't have the larger gears to account for. Speaking of larger gears, that's where the main weight differences really come in here, and let's look at what those are. So you can have 3 materials of construction for these cassettes, starting with steel, aluminum, and titanium. If we look at our heaviest and maybe most durable cassette here, the Deore, you can see that it's got 12 steel cogs on it. The SLX swaps the largest cog from steel to aluminum, and then the XT takes that second largest cog and swaps it to aluminum as well. So the only difference between XT, SLX, and Deore is 1 or 2 aluminum cogs. Finally, the XTR, it is a whole different beast. It has 3 aluminum on its largest cogs. It's got 5 titanium cogs in the middle and 3 steel at the bottom. So all that titanium in the middle there on your XTR cassette is the reason they're able to save 100 grams even over the next lightest XT cassette. It's also the reason why you're gonna have to dip into Timmy's college fund if you wanna buy one. So, with all these facts laid out for you, which one of these gets the Bikes with Ben bang for your buck stamp of approval? It's kind of tough. For me, it's definitely between the SLX and the Deore. They come in at a $2 difference, $82 for the Deore versus $84 for the SLX. They come in at about a 65 gram weight savings. And I think I'm leaning SLX. So you can save that weight. You could spend $2 more. You get the SLX. My only hesitation on why I wouldn't do that is that the Deore is all steel and it's going to be more reliable long term. How much more? I doubt very much. The bike that I've got here is running the SLX derailleur here, or SLX cassette. It's done great. There's no issues with it. I don't know, I probably have 1,000 miles on it. There is some, there's some nicks and stuff you see on the aluminum cog. Aluminum's softer, obviously. It's going to wear faster than the steel. It looks cooler. Having the black big cog there does look a lot cooler. It's not worth 65 grams weight savings, in my opinion. It is worth $2 extra, why not? But if you want the absolute most durable, longest lasting, the Deore for $82 is your best bet. If you want to save a little bit of weight and add some pizzazz with this nice black big cog on her, go with the SLX. And for that reason, both the SLX and the Deore are getting the Bikes with Ben bang for your buck stamp of approval for this episode. There you have it. Pick one. Don't buy the XTR unless you're not watching this video if you're buying the XTR. This is a bang for your buck series, not a spend all your money to have the lightest bike series. So if you like this video, as I said before, please give it a like. Please subscribe if you can. My next video is going to be covering the Hyperglide Plus Shimano chain series, and we'll see what differences there are there. I know there's a slight weight difference. I think it's fun with the XTRs. They actually take these pins and make them hollow, so you save like 5 grams, something like that, and it probably costs you an extra 200 bucks. But hey, that's XTR for you. Thanks for watching. Till next time, I hope to see you on the trails. Have fun out there. Don't get hurt. See you guys.